I guess, is there anything first that you guys want to just say about the incident yesterday, and we can kind of work from there? I wasn't sure if you had a statement or anything.
Well, our number one priority is the health and safety of our students. That's the number one thing. And I'm so grateful that you guys are here today, because we do need to have the community involved in keeping our students safe. We want everyone to be involved in this process of keeping our students safe. As a mom, my number one prayer every day was that I wanted my students to be healthy, happy, safe, and strong. I don't think that my desires are any different than any other parent or guardian out there. So if they're thinking enough is enough, I believe enough is enough too. And so we want to make sure that enough is enough, and that our parents, our community members, our teachers and staff members, we're all working together to keep our students safe. We're committed to that, and we're going to do everything that we can to make sure that we are ensuring safety for our students and our staff members.
After yesterday's incident, a lot of parents, for a while now, have been asking for ways to mitigate something like this from happening, i.e. metal detectors or checking stuff in school. I know this is not something that happens regularly in elementary schools, but is this something you guys are thinking about?
We've been working with national experts. We have also had focus groups with parents, with students, with teachers, on the best ways to ensure safety. So we have plans in place, but we're looking at how do we extend those plans? How do we expand on those plans? Given the world that we're living in today, and given the recent events, we're looking at how do we ensure safety even more so than what we're doing today. So we know that we have some that I know that some are thinking about metal detectors and those kinds of things. We have some parents who are adamantly opposed to metal detectors. We have other parents who are adamantly for. And both have legitimate reasons for their positions. Therefore, we're looking at each position to see what the merits of each position, to see how we can come together as a community to decide on the best course of action moving forward.
As much as you can tell us about the specific incident yesterday,
sure.
People were told that there were 2 guns, both unloaded. Will you just speak to that a little
sure.
bit? And what do you think about the response of the school to realize what's going on and keep everyone safe in this
sure.
situation?
I'm happy to address that.
Yeah. Can you just pick them up, or do we?
It looks like I'm getting
testing.
I'm getting
1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Chris, test.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm happy to address that, because I was on scene yesterday with our administrators and our school resource officers. We have living, breathing procedures that allow us to respond to crisis. And I am very happy to report that our administrator and our school resource officer followed those to the letter. Our protocols are in place for a reason. They're based on best practices. Those weapons were unloaded, and I can tell you from my own observations, because I was there when we secured those weapons, they had not been loaded. And there's reasons for that. It's part of an investigation, but those weapons were not loaded. And I have to say, our administration, our school resource officers did a fantastic job following the protocols, making the decisions. And as a leader in a crisis, they performed very well.
Are you able to go into, were the guns inside of school, outside of school? Was it a student that brought, who brought those to school?
So I think because this is an ongoing investigation, I need to let the authorities do that, which is the Sheriff's Department in this case. They're working through those. The weapon was on the school campus, and we were, thanks to some great students and administrators, we were notified of that, and we absolutely went into action and did it at the most efficient and effective and fastest way possible.
What do you say to the parents? A lot of parents, and they might not know the protocols that you guys have, but a lot of them take issue with some of the ways that they're getting communication. Maybe it's not fast enough or quick enough. What do you say to those parents?
Well, I can tell you, I researched the technology on this, and we have a process in place. We know that 1,023 calls went out, and we know that 238 of those were not received for various reasons. One, inactive numbers. 2, they haven't updated their number in the system. And this went to staff and parents. So I encourage our parents, and I encourage our staff even, update your numbers. We don't know when you change service. We don't know if you change your number. But I can tell you that Over 30 were deactivated. Several were not answered. Many went to voicemail, and 785 of those 1,023 recipients did get that call. And the other 238, we encourage you to make sure that our system is updated so we have your information. And this call went out, and it went out within minutes of what we were doing and dealing with. Our leaders make decisions based on the totality of the circumstances, and they use the protocols and best practices that we have in place to make those decisions. And I can confirm, and our technology backs me up with that it went out, and I was part of that decision on how to communicate that and how to get it out. We have the ability to text and call. We have social media. We have you, the media, and we communicated with all of those sources to get those out.
This stuff happens across the country, but to hear it at an elementary school, I mean, and especially obviously hits us close to home. What conversations do you hope parents are having with their children? Because you guys can only do so much as administrators, but this starts at home. What conversations do you hope are going on there, especially after something like this?
Again, as a parent, from one parent to another, we would ask all of our parents to have these critical conversations with your children. Check your students' book bags. Take the safety pledge. The safety pledge will be coming out next week. Again, take that safety pledge, read it, and be committed to it. Know who your children are hanging out with. Know what they're doing on social media. Know what time they're coming home and what they're doing. We would ask our parents and guardians, we know that you're doing your best, and we know that we're doing our best, but we each, all of us, have to do a little bit more, engage in more conversations so that we know exactly where our children are, what they're doing, and what they're looking forward to as they're coming to school each day.
With the incident at Lucy Addison and now this one, is there a concern about guns for you guys, or you know, after you got that call, I'm sure your heart sank. I mean, anybody's would. Is there a concern about guns for Roanoke Public City Schools?
Well, again, safety is our #1 priority. But I have to say that at Westside Elementary School, just like at every one of our schools, great things are happening. And so it is a shame when things like this overshadow the good things that are happening. But let me assure every parent and every guardian out there, we have great things happening in Roanoke City Public Schools. We have a job fair coming up on next Monday for our high school students. We have book fairs that are going on in schools. We are focused on literacy. We have all of those great things. We have graduation coming up. We have great things going on each and every day, but we do take seriously when something like this happens. We do take this seriously, and nothing is going to get in the way of us doing everything that we can to keep our students and staff members safe every day.
Has there been any updates because of these two incidents to make sure that students stay safe? Or are protocols still in place?
Well, as you know, we had our safety summit just about a month ago, where we're bringing in not only the national experts, but also local and regional leaders in the community. Again, this is not just a Roanoke City Public Schools issue. This is a citywide issue that we are working on together. So yes, we are going to continue to do that. We are researching what's best in practice with looking at the literature and looking at the research. We are also looking at our current practices. We have not stopped our drills, we have not stopped our protocols, and as a matter of fact, the protocols that we have put in place worked. And that's what prevented anything else from happening, whether or not we're talking about the past incident or this one that happened yesterday. So the protocols are working, but we want to prevent them from happening in the first place.
That was kind of my next question. As far as time, I know you said research, you're working with
Yes.
the Safety Summit. Those things take a little bit
Yes.
more time. So in relation to what happened yesterday, do you think it requires more immediacy? And with yesterday's incident on Westside, is there something that is taking place as of today, right? Were there bags checked? Was there anything done in relation to that?
Today, we are making sure that our students know how to access resources. Today, our counselors are available for all of our students and staff members. Today, we have a safety plan in place that worked yesterday that will continue to work as we need it to. Today, we are working to make sure that we're looking in the immediate and in the long term as well. Those things are in place today to keep students safe. We have a visitor entry system. We have all various kinds of protocols already in place, and those things are already in place today that we are proud of. Now, we are going to do more. We're committed to that. And so in the upcoming weeks, we will be sharing more about that.
The Gun Violence Prevention Commission at their last meeting announced that they want to give to each kid, each family, a gun lock, and
Yes.
want to work with the schools to do that.
Yes.
Where are we in that process with the commission?
We are committed to that, and we thank the Gun Violence Prevention Commission for working with us to do everything possible to secure weapons. And I would ask the community that if you have a weapon in your home, yes, make sure that it is secure. Make sure that you take advantage of the gun locks, whether or not you are gaining them from your own personal kind of preference of a place to get them from, or if you're working with the police department or coming through the commission. The important part is let's keep those weapons secured and out of the hands of our children.
I know that the incident was isolated and that everything was fine. Were other bags checked or searched, or are you able to go into that, or is that in part of the investigation?
Our procedures are in place for a reason, to ensure that safety to the best of our ability. And we work through the totality of the circumstances and the information we receive, and we work it till we either confirm or dispel that issue. And I can tell you that all of those things were done.
That's all I have.
Anything else that you two would like to add, or anything that we might have missed?
Again, we just want to thank the community, and I want to thank the Westside community as well. And like I said before, great things are happening at Westside as in all of our schools, and so I want to thank our parents, guardians, teachers for their commitment and their commitment to safety and keeping everyone safe. We are one. We are keeping our students at the focus of everything that we do, and I thank our parents and our community in general for having the faith and trust in us to keep students safe and to do the best that we can to educate them well.